Hello, hello. Welcome to the weekend. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. This is the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast, made possible thanks to On SI and all of you. Did the NFL pull a fast one on Lions fans? Is there a conspiracy to shut up a fan base that's pissed off because the NFL got caught in a lie? We got a lot to talk about. This was one of the wildest weeks in the history of covering the Detroit Lions. I mean, there was very little room to talk about the Lions facing the Bucs. The Buccaneers are coming to town on Monday Night Football, and I don't know if anybody cares. From the time Sunday Night Football ended, it has been the most dramatic week I think I have ever seen covering the Detroit Lions. Shout out to the early 100 people in here. Welcome. Get your comments in. Nick P, Eloy Trevino, shout out to all of you. Like, comment, let's have some fun. Now, some of this is going to be, in jest, but when we talk about it, is it really that crazy? Is it really that crazy? Ghetto Boy Juan, we got an early victory. It's only 7-3. It's an early victory for the Lions. For the Spartans. We are not getting our tail kicked in just yet. 27.5 points. Shout out to Ghetto Boy Juan. Much love to you. Shout out to you. It's an early victory, so I'm in a good mood. We are going to talk about the Bucs, but there's so much to get into. Let's just recap all that's happened outside of football. Brian Branch introduces Juju Smith-Schuster to the 5 hands of fear. Bam! Causes a stir, then gets suspended. Then we learn about Dan Campbell hearing from the officials that the call from the play in which the Lions, David Montgomery threw the football to Jared Goff, the play that took points off the board, that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened that way. It should have been a touchdown that stood. The officials were not supposed to go to New York or get any sort of information. The league lied, and they got caught. And Dan Campbell reiterates, I heard from an official that this call was made because of New York, and then the pool report said something completely different. Then Brian Branch appeals. He loses his appeal. Then the NFL does a hit piece. Why did they do that hit piece? We're going to talk about it. Did the NFL pull a fast one so the Lions fans in the league would be diverted? Listen, as you get older, why not entertain some conspiracy theories? It seems like conspiracies might be just fun to talk about. Who knows? I'm going to count on you guys to either say, hey, this makes sense, or you're just crazy on a Saturday after a wild week. Shout out to Eric, Bucs fan in the house. Shout out to you, my man. You guys have an advantage now. Our secondary is battered. Shout out to Corey in here early. We got to talk about it. The Lions, in the second half of the show, we'll talk about it. Without Brian Branch, without Kirby Joseph, I am now nervous. I saw it. I went to get batteries to make sure all the lights were on, all the things were working here in the studio. Plus, I gritted my teeth a little bit because Michigan won. 24-7. I didn't see it. I was at the Lions. Had a little talk today. I talked to the Lions about football. It was cool. Amik Robertson, Grant Stewart, Terry Arnold talked to me about PFF. And boy, they're not happy with PFF. That story will come out tomorrow. Amik Robertson looked at me right in the face. He's like, I don't give a F about PFF, bro. I don't give an F. It started a controversy. Guys, PFF, I don't know if I'd respect it or if I now, from what the players have told me, and Chris Long, who I respect, and all the players that talk to me, PFF is a racket. Lebanese people, we like that. It's kind of like there's no basis for merit for this system, allegedly from the players. Everybody it infiltrated the league, and none of the players like it. They're like, dog, don't look at that. I was like, wow, okay. So we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But you can comment on anything. All right, let's have some fun to start. I smell a conspiracy theory. Doc, you're like, come on, what's the conspiracy? Unfortunately, this Brian Branch is having a bad week. And I think he was a pawn in the league's way of diffusing a major scandal. And no, we're not going to go rehash it over and over again. It is what it is. The proof's in the pudding. Dan Campbell said New York was buzzing in to the officials when they weren't supposed to. That is inappropriate, especially when an official said that didn't happen. It's clear as day. We all know, more likely than not, what do you believe? Dan Campbell lied, or the official tried to cover it up? Or an official wasn't supposed to tell Dan that? Come on. So now the whole world's starting to sniff around, go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The league got caught violating their own rules. Now, everyone's starting. Pro Football Talk started covering it. You know, the national media did not talk about it. So that means something was there. If all the national media, all the television shows that talk about everything didn't talk about it, something is up. And now you have people saying, wait, what's going on with the NFL? What's going on with the Chiefs? You got studies that say, hey, these officials are terrible. The UTEP study that talks about how the officials favor the Chiefs. Everybody, the smoke was starting. The fire was billowing. All of a sudden, there's a hit piece on Brian Branch. When has the NFL ever done that? Ever? Put out especially in the age of context, why not air the whole 9-minute segment? Why release 1 minute that just highlights Brian Branch getting torched? Why would you do that? Aha. Are you guys following me? Am I crazy? What do you think? Did the league throw out that video knowing, look, man, these Detroit fans, they're rabid. They're going to glom onto this. All the fanboys, all the blogs, Doc, he's going to write about it. And it'll distract everybody from us. When does the NFL take down videos? And this is probably the psychologist in me and the entertainer and the podcaster going, wait a minute, to entertain this on a Saturday. Listen, this has been a wild week. Let's entertain it. Think about it. It's plausible. The whole world's starting, maybe even someone important was going to look into it. Now you have this big diversion. It's a big deal. Brian Branch video. Look at it. It's a hit piece. All the fans stop talking about the officials in 24 hours, and they talk about this video. The league pulled a fast one, and I can smell it. Am I wrong? You guys think that? Did they put out that film, delete it, knowing that the fans of Detroit are going to attack it and attack Louis Riddick? What does Louis Riddick care? He works for the league. And Louis Riddick applied to be the general manager of the Lions. So what does he care? Have you seen the Louis Riddick Detroit Lions feature lately? What does he care if the Lions all hate him? And the league probably said, listen, Louis, you're on we got to do what we got to do. We're going to put this out. Sorry. Am I sniffing up and barking up the wrong tree? I don't want to see Signetti curb stomp my guys, just a fan. Phil says, I don't know, Doc. They didn't shift away any attention from the story. They extended the story. It's a different story. Is anybody really talking about the officials anymore? Other than, TJ Lang, which we'll talk about. Anakin gets in. I refuse to give in to those who consider themselves victorious are not unlike those conquered, consider themselves so too. I have no idea what you just said. It's a long week. To give in, those who consider themselves victorious are not unlike those conquered, consider themselves so too. That's probably high level. I probably would understand what the hell that means on a Monday. I have no clue what the hell that just said. Bro, I'm an NFL. I work in the NFL. 50 stories, all of them dramatic. But something that sounds good. Did you guys read the story that the reporter did? Tyler Dunn came to town. I joked with him when he came in. I said, "Oh, did you expose something to the Lions?" He did the 3-part piece about the Bears. And I said, "Oh, man, Ryan Poles ain't sending you no Christmas card." He's like, "They got issues." But he did a good story. He exposed that, I don't know if it was a story before, Dan Campbell interviewed with the Browns back in 2019. He did a story about Al-Quadin Muhammad last year, almost throwing down with Penei Sewell. You got to respect it. You got to respect it. Jeff D, they want distraction from their Chiefs' favoritism. Got to keep the Swifties. See? I am not alone in my thoughts about this. Did the league throw out a diversion to get everybody off the scent of the terrible officials? And they said, "Hey, listen, Brian Branch is already in trouble. He's already suspended. He definitely wasted our time with an appeal. Let's do a hit piece." Now, not considered a hit piece, but let's just throw it out there. If anybody with a brain saw that video, they'd be like, "I don't think people are going to like this." They're going to be like, "I don't think the fans of Detroit are going to like this." And they're going to post it. They're going to talk about it. They're going to write about it. Did they distract the fan base? Conspiracy theory. Who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory on the weekend? I could be wrong. What did you guys think about the NFL film story? Now, I saw it and I'm like, oh, it doesn't have the best tone. The music makes it sound like it's ultra dramatic. Brian Branch got clowned by Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Patrick Mahomes. It probably pissed him off. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. And then he felt the need to slap Juju Smith-Schuster. Javier, shout out to you. Good afternoon, Doc. Big fan. Keep telling it like it is. The super chats are open. Got one in. Love it. Love it. Super thanks. Super chat. First and foremost, to the 300 people that are here early, just hit the like button or retweet or like on X. Hit the like button. It's free. It's just a way to say, hey, thanks for entertaining us. Thanks for giving us something to watch over an hour over the weekend. Bobby, appreciate you, Bobby Stark. $4.99 super chat. Much appreciation. It goes a long way. All the money, all the super chats from YouTube goes right back into the show. Keeps the lights on, helps me support Emmett and give him more assignments. Vito, Christian. I don't pocket a single thing from YouTube. And thank you guys. The support of the channel has been great. We're nearing 4,000 subscribers. $4.99 super chat. After all this, does this set the stage for the Lions and the Chiefs Super Bowl? Part of a bigger theory. Let's trump up a story so big that when the Lions face the Chiefs, the scriptwriters say this is perfect. We'll have the most drama. We can show that slap all week for 2 weeks. I don't want to see the Chiefs. I want to see the Bills. I want to face the Bills. The Chiefs, man, I don't know. I feel like the league would say we're not going to see Taylor Swift crying on the field. Would Taylor Swift cry on the Doc's shoulder? Would they let me on the field? I don't even know the process. Like, do I just start saying, hey, put the cart before the horse? Hey, boss man at Sports Illustrated on SI, if I get to cover the Super Bowl, can I get on the field? Can I be actually treated like everybody else? Can I be actually somebody that gets on the field, can talk to the players, can see if the Lions win, the confetti fall down on me? I feel like I'll be the last person to ask, but I want to know. I want clearance. Just a fan. Has NFL become WWE? Now, getting back to Bobby, I don't think the Lions and the Chiefs are going to meet in the Super Bowl. It's a plausible idea. It's on the debate table, Bobby. But I feel like Buffalo, their fans are crazier than the Chiefs. But the Chiefs have Taylor Swift. So the numbers are crunching in. Her album, what's going on with her around that time. You're on to something, Bobby. Appreciate you in the super chat. See, David believes me. David H. NFL story is intentional distraction. And you guys agree with Bobby. Do you want to see a rematch? Do you want to see the Lions, when they get to the Super Bowl this year, face the Chiefs? I don't. Mahomes is just a wizard. Travis Kelce, they want him to retire a winner. Andy Reid. And then in comes the Lions. They'll be portrayed as the thugs and the kneecap biters, and they'll never acknowledge the great offense. They'll never acknowledge anything. They'll acknowledge, look at this idiot podcaster, week one, asked him about motion. They'll portray all the things that are weird with the Lions. Everyone will be like, did the Lions do anything good this year? Oh, see? This MSU game actually looks good in the first half. Yeah, you give Cignetti $11 million, he's probably like, I got the Spartans, I can relax. Jonathan Smith, who's that? Is that the water boy? Sergeant Curtis. I'll just hit the like button. Thank you. That's awesome. What did you guys think of the video? Now, some people are like, wait a minute, everybody's overreacting. It's just Louis Riddick talking about what happened. I looked at it and I said, it's a terribly produced video. It's because he's talking all melodramatic. And he got clowned by Travis Kelce and taunted by Patrick Mahomes. Like, you don't need to have that tone. Like, this is Detroit. I think Detroiters reacted to that tone. Like he was like patting us on the back or something. Like, come strong, Louis. What the hell? We know your voice. We don't need you talking all melodramatic over a video, over something that you produced. And it looked like his frustration level boiled over after getting blocked in the back. Listen, man, this is Detroit. We don't come like that. We don't talk like that. Then he had to put out an apology. When does the NFL ever delete something? When does the NFL ever acknowledge that, oh, shoot, the reaction's so bad, we're going to take it down? That was a whole other story, too. They took it down. Now, I think that we're going to talk about here soon the game. But holy cow, was this a dramatic week. I literally covered drama this week. It was amazing. Now, how did that go for the site? Well, how do you think it went? Why do you think people pay attention to things that are interesting? Because they grab your attention and something to talk about. Whew, that was a lot, though. For a guy that you could argue likes that kind of stuff, that was a lot. A fight, a suspension, an appeal of a suspension, a hit piece video, a deletion of the hit piece video, an appeal, the loss of an appeal, and everybody feeling like Brian Branch is a troublemaker. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot for a week. And then TJ Lang saying he knew the Packers got preferential treatment. We did. Kevin, shout out to you. Is the media going to defend Brian Branch's history? He's not a dirty player. Yeah, when Dan went on the radio and said Brian Branch is not a thug, all his teammates said this is the nicest guy, biggest heart. It was all there on Lions on SI. All there. Everybody wrote about it. I know, right? Ghetto Boy Juan. Why'd you go live during the game? I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna be an ass kicking. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the Spartans by now would be down 21-0. So maybe, like I said, I feel like maybe I'm the jinx. Good. Keep me updated, Ghetto Boy. Shout out to Brent. Deletion is an admission of guilt. Hit piece. Corey, they're trying to delete the video like it's the Epstein files. Who was on the list that made this video? Is Louis Riddick mad at the Lions because they didn't give him the GM job? And then his apology wasn't an apology. I have never thought of the Lions other than as a classy organization. Listen, man, that video was terrible. Just release the whole 9-minute video. Jeremiah gets in. I want to say this. Give my thoughts on it. The trade deadline is approaching. All the writers, all the bloggers are going to be talking about the trade deadline. Now, I don't know a lot of these national reporters. I see them, I say hi. But I love the fact, and we do it. I mean, I'm guilty of it too, because it's interesting. But is it really a stretch that anybody paying attention to the Lions, a Diana Rossini of The Athletic, is it really a stretch for her to say, I'm hearing that Brad Holmes is picking up the phone and calling for a defensive end? I feel like any Joe Schmo could report that. I'm hearing, yeah. And so, Jeremiah, if you've focused this week, here's what the Lions need. The Lions need Doc. No, I'm not being egotistical. It's not hyperbole. It's not performative. They need Doc. Defensive line help, offensive line help, and a cornerback. I want 3 players. They need Doc. I've told you I'm debating whether to write that in a headline. Everybody roll their eyes, be like, look at this guy. They need Doc. But to me, and I got into this debate, quick diversion. I got into this debate with Booner about this guy, Ricky Scoops. And everybody's like, oh, he's an insider. Oh, and everything. I'm like, okay, fine. Fine, Booner. I respect you. But I'm like, look at it from my view, Booner. Booner's like, this guy's amazing. They're highlighting him. They're tagging him. And I'm like, okay, I'm in a different boat, bro. I'm inside the building. I go, I cover. I actually waste money, per se, an hour drive, gas. It's a lot of driving, a lot of fighting on 94 with all the people riding up my ass. And then it's a normal 30-minute trip that turns into 50 minutes because of traffic. And there's a car flipped over on 94 and all the things that close lanes. And then Southfield Freeway, I'm going 84 and there's 4 guys riding up my ass. I'm like, what the hell? I'm going 84 miles an hour. And there's like guys right up my ass. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, I'm in the trenches. I do the work. And everybody, and Booner's like, I love this guy, Ricky. He's got all the news. I'm like, didn't Ricky put out a statement? Bark, bark, bark. Aiden Hutchinson's going to sign soon. Y'all forgot about that. I was telling him directly, why is this guy in regards to the Lions news is totally wrong. It makes no sense. Bark, bark, bark. I said to him, Booner, he's wrong. Micah Parsons hasn't signed his deal yet. Trey didn't sign his deal yet. Why would Aiden sign his deal? I said, Ricky's wrong. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Well, to me, if you're wrong about the team I cover, I don't need to follow you. So I blocked Ricky from there. I don't care if he's an insider. I don't care if he's national. I'm not following some guy named Ricky Scoops and then telling other people about it. You know, so to me, and I'm not being mean, but I always looked at it like there are people dedicating their life day to day to drive down there to Allen Park. The 3 great blogs, the 5 newspapers, look at all the names of people that you could trust. Pride of Detroit, A to Z Sports, Lions Wire, myself, Detroit News, Detroit Free Press, M Live. Try not to leave anybody out. Channel 247, the radio station. That's 10 people going down there. And if I left you out, I'm sorry. I never would do that. I see you all there. ESPN, the team reporters. What does it mean to have Jahmyr Gibbs on this roster? It's so beautiful. Even them, Dan Miller, there's so many good reporters that go down there. And then everyone's like, did you hear Diana Rossini said that they're getting a pass rusher? Well, Jeremiah, no shit. They're looking for everybody. So I don't want to dismiss your comment. I just went off on a tangent because it's funny when a report like that comes in. It's like, listen, they're going to need help in the secondary. Brad's calling. Now, a real report would be, I'm hearing Brad Holmes talking to Granderson from the Saints. That's worthy of to me, I mean, and I'm guilty of it. I will, I didn't write this one because I don't know Diana Rossini from a hole in the wall. But, the common sense, simple stuff, you can assume Brad's calling for a defensive end, for an offensive lineman, for a cornerback, for an offensive weapon. He's looking. Of course he is. Now, the Dolphins, God, the Dolphins are ass, Jeremiah. Let's go. Let's upgrade. The Dolphins suck. And I know you guys like Phillips, but that guy's injury prone. So I hope I answered your question, long-winded. But yeah, I just find it funny in reporting that the Lions, here's what I hear, here's what I need to report on. I heard the Lions are seeking a defensive end. Well, thank you there, Diana. Woo! Blew me away. Woo! Earth-shattering. And it's I'm too far into it, so, but in my opinion, they need Doc. Defensive line, offensive line, corner. And hell, if there's a wide receiver you like to, go get 4. I'm always of the more opinion. Hopefully you liked that answer, Jeremiah, but went off on a little tangent. I don't know. Did the Lions, you guys can tell me, did any Lions get fined from the whole, from everything that went on last week? I'm broadcasting. Christian was on it. Jerry Jeudy got fined. Chargers, Colts, Commanders. Let's see who reports on it. I know. Alex Anzalone and Tyler Lacey were fined. Two fines. So typically we do stories and then release it an hour later. So we'll have all the details. 2 fines. Two fines for the Lions. But that's the Brian Branch. That's the first half. We'll talk about it. Now, I am concerned. We get the injury report, and fairly quickly we got it out there for you guys. Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, Avonte Maddox, Sione Vaki out. The Lions are going to have a whole new secondary against Baker Mayfield. I'm a little concerned. What's your concern level on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm at a 6. Amik Robertson can hold it down. You got Rock Ya-Sin. Clearly, Kelvin Shepard was very fond of Rock Ya-Sin. He's not going to put... he said, don't take what I say schematically maybe as honest, but he's not going to put him back there. So what does that mean? Who's going to play safety? Are you going to call up Lawrence Strickland again? Who is going to play safety? I would have liked Avonte Maddox to be there, but he's out now too. It's unfortunate for him. The hometown guy is going to miss Monday Night Football. Nickel safety, the new guy, Jahmyr Robinson. Is Jahmyr Robinson Lawrence Strickland? Jahmyr Robinson Kendall Fuller? Is there going to be some roster maneuvering? Does one of those guys get signed to the roster and then you call up 2 more? Whew. I'm at a 6. And Kevin, I think that, some are saying, what, this might be the easiest bet in the history of betting. The Lions are owed something, so they're going to get all the calls this week. The Bucs are going to feel like the Lions this week, where the Bucs get no calls. The Lions are going to have 2 penalties against them, and the Bucs are going to have 9. The league's got to make up for it. They're like, we suspended your guy. We blew the call. We lied. And Dan Campbell was like, listen, we sent in the tape. We knew you lied to us. What are you going to do for us? They're like, okay, just watch Monday Night Football in front of the whole world. There will be 5 holding calls against Aiden. Penei Sewell will not have a single call against him. Taylor Decker will have a clean game. I think the Lions are going to get the benefit of the calls this week. Something tells me they got to make up for it. Listen, league's like, we're going to put out, I wrote the script. That's right. Doc wrote the script. Lions get all the calls. Be like, man, Penei Sewell's holding the crap out of the Bucs. So, tired of this. And I might just go off again on the rant that got me into the next level with my podcast. How does this keep happening where the Lions get boned all the time? Shouldn't the Lions, try not to get mad here. Shouldn't the Lions be one of the elite teams now? Shouldn't the Lions be on the level of the Chiefs? Look at the case for the Lions. Everywhere they go, ESPN, NFL, Amazon, their ratings are second to none. Why are the Lions getting boned in calls? The Ford family are billionaires. Eminem. Does Eminem need to write a song about Taylor Swift? Taylor can do this and this and this to me? Maybe. But why are the Lions not the beneficiary of some calls? You could do a list right now of a dozen bone calls that I've had in my 15 years. It's like one a year. Why are the Lions and the stuff that they do for the league? They generate millions of dollars for the league. The Lions pay the league. You see Ford commercials. At some point, I would like the Lions to stop getting bent over by the league and be the ones doing the be the ones that are doing the screwing here. Why are we always getting bent over? I don't get it. The Lions are a marquee franchise with millions of fans, the craziest fans, the best fans, and they go travel. They spend money. What, because we don't sing and aren't the biggest pop star in the world? We have a hip-hop artist, you don't like us, you keep boning us with these calls? I don't get it. I don't understand why the Lions are not like the Cowboys, like the Packers. Move out those crumb bum teams and move in the Lions. Violence sells. Like, partner with Dan Campbell, sell a bunch of authorized kneecap shirts, and give us the hey, we got you guys. Who cares if the Chiefs are 2-3? You want the Lions in the Super Bowl. Is everybody stupid at the NFL office? You want the Lions. Their fans travel. Their fans are crazy. They're interactive. They support 15 sites and a new one coming every day. Yet you're willing to bone and disrespect Dan Campbell and their players and do a hit piece and let that fly because of Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. The Lions are on the come up. The Chiefs are has been. Now, 8 years ago, that was another 10 minutes with me screaming at Jim Caldwell for the whole Brit situation in the back of the end zone. So, what do you guys think? Who should play safety? Who's going to be the best option? I gave you a couple names. I'm concerned. I like Amik Robertson, but I think the Lions are going to get lucky. Egbuka practiced, but he's not going to play. Evans, I feel like, is going to suit up, but might not be his full self. So I think that there's an opportunity there. Who the hell is Baker Mayfield going to throw to? How concerned are you about the safeties being out? Listen, Egbuka might play, but he's got a hamstring. That could be something that's going to limit him. First game back. Nick P's riding with Detroit. Bucs, if both are healthy, I'm taking Detroit. Detroit's weapons are better. Tampa may have more wide receivers 4 deep, but nobody on the Bucs wide receiving core is better than Amon-Ra. I agree. What are you guys' thoughts about the Bucs' weapons? To me, you just got to limit Baker Mayfield. You got to get the game above 3 touchdowns. You have to have a 14 to 17 point lead. You let that guy hang around, he'll just start finding his peoples. That's what I'm saying. Is the league picking on the Lions because they have a female owner? What's the deal? You would think that the Lions would, and also too, the Lions, now I asked Dan Campbell, and of course, the more I elaborate, the worse my question is. It was a good question today, but he skirted around it because I added too much information, but it was true. Today, I if you guys have noticed, I've been talking a lot slower, trying to enunciate, not rushing. But man, is it hard to fight through all those people trying to get in those questions. Whew, it's a battle. I said, Dan, I remember the bad boys. Is the league misunderstanding what your players are about? The league had the gall to send out a video with Jack Campbell. Now, I thought it was reported yesterday that the league said that he was doing it wrong. Well, Dan corrected it and said, no, they sent a video and Jack was doing it right. He was punching out the football correctly, punching it out correctly. But they did a preventative memo. They said, hey, if you punch the football, don't miss because then you're going to punch someone. Well, no shit. No duh. If you punch at the football and you miss, but you know how hard that is? There's a moving target. They literally sent a memo out highlighting Jack Campbell. So I said to Dan, hey, is the league kind of viewing you guys like the bad boys? He's like, we don't care. I respect it. Now, there's a problem. Though, there's a problem. Jack Campbell comes out publicly and says, I don't care. I'm just going to try to punch out the football. He's like, I don't care. Screw it. I think the Lions got to play nicey nice. It sucks, but I think this villain's attitude is a problem. The Ronan, shout out to you. You like dropped me right into my point. I think the Lions are viewed as the bad boys, and the league is like, no, we don't like that. I think the Lions are targeted. Like, these are the bad boys. These are the guys that think they're some hot crap team, and we're going to shut them down. Shut them down. We don't want violence. We don't want this nature of discussion. We don't want kneecaps. We don't want villains salty. We don't want grit. We don't want none of that. Yeah, go check out my great question, Ronan. I thought it was great. We are viewed as the bad boys. The Lions are viewed as the bad boys. Why would you do that? Why would you send out a video and put Jack Campbell in it? Why not the guy that's on the Rams? You know, hey, look at this running back getting punched in the head, actually getting punched in the head. The league literally sent out, according to Dan Campbell, who attached that, he caught onto that line. That's how smart he is. Very smart. Very smart. He just talked to that point. He's like, the league sent it, and actually the video, Jack was doing it right. They just sent a preventative video saying, hey, if Jack punches and misses, he's going to punch someone. I mean, literally, come on. The league's like, look, here's how you do it correctly. Don't do it incorrectly. I guess that you could look at it from that perspective. Congrats to Jack. If you play the Lions, you're bound to get punched. The whole league knows it. I don't like that. I don't like when I wish TJ Lang maybe wouldn't have answered the question. And I'm going to share it. But I do want to talk about the game here for a couple more minutes before I keep complaining. Listen, Kirby Joseph is a warrior. You can tell. The second he gets ruled out, he's on X saying, man, he's pissed. You know he's upset. Thank you to the 500 people in here. Please, free. Smash the like button. That just, guys, 4,000 subscribers. I'm shocked. In less than a year. Thank you. I thank you guys to those that say that you enjoy listening and you're forced to watch the state game and bounce back over here. It's 14-10. We ain't losing. We ain't losing by 27.5 just yet. The rumors of the Spartans' demise was premature. Maybe an upset. Kevin, that's nice, man. The reason I'm a fan of the doc is because you have your own thoughts and don't just repeat other reports. I like your style. Oh yeah, I got opinions. Hey, after seeing how the media is and how they were, I'm like, oh man, there's a voice that needs to be out there. It needs to be mine. So Dan, I remember the bad. He's like, I cannot believe he just said the word bad boys out loud. Oh yes, I did. But he answered it perfectly. He's like, we cannot worry about that. But that's the issue I have. I think you do need to worry about it. It's going to happen. I can foreshadow terribleness. See, Dan's an optimist publicly. I'm a pessimist. We're going to dance in the end zone, up 7-0, up 14-0 in the Super Bowl, and Jahmyr's going to do a three-pump dance. We're going to have a penalty on the kickoff, and the guy's going to score a touchdown. It's going to bite us in the butt. We need to be on the right side of the league. And I think TJ Lang kind of gave the secret sauce that we're not doing. Because I'm not sure Dan Campbell's kissing the ass of the refs or the players. With how they've been screwed, they're probably like, nice call, dipwad. Open your eyes. Yes, you have to manifest it. Super Bowl. The Lions got to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but I think they do. That's the premise. And we'll get into that talk. All right. Kirby Joseph, you just got to highlight he's a warrior. The guy battled all the way up until 7th game of the season. And he finally had to, after they saw his production, Dan Campbell hinted at it. He said earlier in the week, we saw the film of Kirby Joseph against the Chiefs. It wasn't good. So they want him to rest. Hopefully this 1 week off and the bye week gets him where it needs to go. Dan was asked a little bit about what is it like inflammation? Is it further irritation? Dan Campbell was asked directly today about the nature of the injury. Shout out to Patty, Kevin, Bucks Raise Bolts, the Ronin. Appreciate all of you in here. 500 people on a Saturday during college football. That's cool. Oh, Patrick Mahomes and Juju Smith-Schuster were not fined. There you go. What does that say? Illegal block in the back. Aha. I'm telling you, I would just like it just for the fans, for the Fords to be like, we give the league $4 million a year for advertising. This year, we ain't giving them squat. We ain't giving the league squat this year. Nothing, not a penny. No players on the Chiefs fined. They wanted sportsmanship, but you clearly see Patrick Mahomes. No fines for Patrick Mahomes. No fines for Juju Smith-Schuster. What does that say? And I can relate to that. When you're a podcaster, you kind of feel like that. As a podcaster, you're kind of viewed like the Lions. And then you got the big national media. The big national media comes to town. They get all the access they want. They get the setup. But I could do it too. I could do an interview similar to Jordan Schultz. I just don't have the time. I don't have time to set up. I just want the Lions to come on my show. The Lions want me to set up lights, camera, action, put on a suit. I'm like, bro, I don't got no time for that. I don't even know how to do that. I actually do have a nice camera that I could set up. But I just feel like me sitting across from a player on the field would just result in some inappropriate questions and laughing and getting too silly. Where if they're on a computer screen, it can maintain a level of professionalism where I don't say anything stupid. Are you guys ready for the John Macaroon experience? Maybe next year. Shave the beard, put on a suit, be like, listen, Brad Galley taught me how to ask these questions. I want to talk to Dan Campbell on the field. Be like, Dan ain't talking to you in a million years. I don't want the Lions to be on the wrong end of all these calls. Why? And I always screamed with Adam, why? Why is this happening? Okay, I can see it once, but there's a laundry list. Guys, I'm going to read them to you. Someone actually posted a list, and I've screamed about all of them. All of them. Why are they happening over and over and over again? Here's 10 right off the top on X. Complete the process. The 10-second runoff. KJ Wright in Seattle. That was the one that the KJ Wright one made me money. When KJ Wright punched the ball out in front of the whole effing world, I got to pull it up, and it's so bad that I can't air it. It's so bad. I was screaming for 5 minutes. Jim Caldwell, open your effing eyes. What are you doing standing there? Stand at the podium and ask the league to stop boning us. I screamed it and yelled it and was just going. And Adam's like, are you going to lose your voice over this? I'm like, and then I just started cussing because there were so many of these stupid calls over and over and over again. Dan Skipper in Dallas picked up the flag in Dallas. Devin Taylor's phantom face mask. The Jim Schwartz rule. Illegal hands to the face with Trey Flowers. That's when I started. Breeze fumbles in the playoffs and the play was whistled dead. And now golf. That is 10. 10. I mean, it's crazy to think about. And then now I'm going to add 11. All these effing injuries. What? A whole new secondary. What on earth is going on? Brian Brand suspended. Kirby Joseph knee. Terry and Arnold shoulder. DJ Reed. What did the Lions do? I know what you guys are going to say about the old man, Mr. Ford. His deals. But nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves this. This is, I mean, literally, nobody deserves this. You sit around and you go, someone said it. Can you please take the voodoo doll pin out? Please, I think Dan Skipper said it. Can you please take the needle out of the voodoo doll? The Lions have been through enough. Steve, Doctor of Football Thugonomics, word life. Word life. Lions won the wrong end of calls like they're innocent. Lions on the wrong end of calls. They are innocent. Bucs have the edge. Lions no secondary. Oh boy. I believe that you're going to get back to balance. I believe you can run the football. And I find this offense to be one in which the Lions will get the end zone, have time of possession, and do a lot of good things. JMO time. I got it 31-24. I got 2 touchdowns, St. Brown. He's going to be pissed from last week. 2 to Laporta and a field goal. Yeah, Brent knows what's up. I thought it was funny. The Lions had to break. I thought it was funny that the NFL had to break their own rules this time to screw the Lions. That's the way it kind of feels. Oh, see, I get excited. It's now 21-10 Indiana. And they're off to the races. I told my reporter, Emmett, just go there and ask Jonathan Smith, is he jealous of Cignetti? Are you, Emmett, I want Emmett to stand up for himself and start asking some questions. He's a great reporter and a really nice writer, and I really like having him. but I feel like he's more in the shadows kind of guy right now. Like, just ask what's wrong. Like, Jonathan Smith's getting fired. Who cares? They're not going to throw you out. Just ask Jonathan Smith, why are you not Curt Cignetti? Can you not just copy what he's doing and do it here? 21-10, Spartans. Michigan won. In news of the day, Michigan defeated Washington 24-7. Joy. All the injuries, and you got a makeshift secondary. But I feel like the defensive line is going to have to step up. You got to step it up. Aleem's back. Aleem the Dream, 20 snaps, I think will help out the defensive line. You got to pressure. Baker Mayfield. I do think the linebackers are going to step it up and do the easy things correctly. A lot of people are talking about the advantages the Lions defensive line should have over the Bucs offensive line. The tail of the tape comes out from us at Lions on the Side tomorrow. Christian will have the tail of the tape, and I think a lot of it's going to go the Lions' way. Obviously, maybe the wide receivers versus the secondary might go the Bucs' way. Yeah, just a fan knows. How many rules were changed or explained because of the Lions getting screwed? What's a catch? Who's reporting? What's a QB? When's he allowed to move? What's a pass interference? Is a pass interference allowed to be changed? It's just a lot. And people are like, it's a loser mentality and the Lions don't talk about it. No, the Lions aren't going to talk about it because it gets them nowhere. But we talk about it because it's old. It's annoying. It keeps happening because the Lions, I think, need to be more forceful. I do think Dan Campbell, Sheila, Brad, they need to speak up and openly, like Dan was like on the radio, yeah, he was from New York. Like, he should have went scorched earth. Dude, you're making money. Scratch $100,000. Here you go. I don't care. Take a suspension. You're like, I was told by the league. Why was I told by the league that it was from New York? Like, there's time for decorum, and there's time to get, like, for the last however long this organization's been here, you've been taking it. After a dozen rule changes and snafus and you getting bent over, does nobody have the ability to scream their head off into the microphone publicly and be like, here's the deal. I coach a team in the NFL that is darn good, and we cannot overcome officials that don't understand the rules. We need officials that apply the rules and call it correctly. If we're in Kansas City, if we're in Miami, if we're in the deep end, we want officials that understand the game of football and understand that there's a certain set of rules they have to follow. And if they stop following it, this Detroit Lions organization is going to have a problem. I think they need to speak up. Being professional sometimes and being nice gets you taken advantage of. And the Lions, holy cow, on the biggest stage. We're just going to decide that we heard something we didn't hear. Anyways. You do have to complain a little bit sometimes out loud because the weird stuff that happens is just highly unusual. But, all right. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph are out. I'm concerned, but the offense is relatively healthy. Now, I talked about it earlier, but on an earlier show, but the Lions, do they need to find that balance with, this is our last 10 minutes here. I'll go as long as there's questions and super chats. Super chats are open. Super thanks. You can become a member. $5.99 or $4.99, $5 a month. Get you access to exclusive videos, direct access to me, exclusive DM access, where you can ask anything you want. $5. Help support the cause, help support fellow journalists. Everything goes back into the Lone Wolves podcast. Emmett, Christian, Vito lets them continue to do their work in a fun and supportive environment. Thank you for the comments, man. It's fun. Thank you for the 500 people on a college football Saturday. Do you believe that David Montgomery needs to be more involved in this offense? I tend to be a little bit more of a Jahmyr Gibbs stan, but I get it. David Montgomery can help. What's the key offensively for the Lions? Score points, yes. What's the key? Is it explosive plays to JMO? Do you need a handful? I feel like you do need a couple. You need to open up a little bit to kind of free things up. Do you feel like Brian does regarding how the Lions should start games? Brian, my man, gets in. I think they need to start the games out with Montgomery, pounding him just a little bit. You just start the game with Montgomery, and that's where they wear the opponents down, where Gibbs can get the runs he needs. I agree. I think they've done that in the past with some success. That's the dilemma. I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs is more of the home run threat. You want to keep establishing him in his development between the tackles and have him grow. I know he's not the best at it yet, but I do think he's becoming kind of the explosive runner, but he's right there on the cusp. Not consistent enough yet. He's right there, blocking out of the backfield. He does so much. David Montgomery, though, is a solid piece. I do think they might do that. Give the first series to Montgomery. Kevin's right. I think that's the key. This week's key, explosives. The Bucs gets in. Come on. Bucs, Rays, Bolts. Shout out to you for peeking in to Detroit. Got to give credit to Baker, man. He's an OG. The guy withstood what the league could throw at him. He was discarded. I mean, when he went to the Rams and showed out, then it's a great opportunity to see what he's made of. Man, he went to the Rams on a short weekend, boom, balled out. And it goes to show you, it's not rocket science. The proof's in a lot of pudding. And I think the Bucs is now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are gaining the benefit. You're seeing it with Daniel Jones. You're seeing it with the Seahawks quarterback, Darnold. 21, 22, and 23-year-old quarterbacks, as rare it is to find a Jackson Dart, you're going to find a whole lot of Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriels, Michael Penix. Guys that are okay, but need to sit. The proof's in the pudding. I mean, I think, relatively speaking, I think that a quarterback should not start until they're 25 or 26. PhD program. You don't just become a doctor of thugonomics, a doctor of podomatic, podcasting. I didn't become an OG podcaster in 3 years. It took me and my cousin 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, all of good 4 years, every single week, honing the craft, learning, having things go right, having things go wrong, having interviews, the challenges. And then when it all came together, when Adam Carolla came on the podcast, everything worked out. No issues, good conversation. When we had the biggest guests in the world on the podcast, everything was perfect. Last year, when Amik Robertson came on the show, everything was perfect. I think that quarterbacks got to sit. 4 years even. 3 minimum. They come out early, 21, 22, 23, sit and learn. This is what you do here. This is what you do there. This is what you do here. I don't care if the quarterback gets hurt. We have a veteran in front of you. We have the starter, and we got you. You sit and learn and shut up. We're not going to see you. We're going to draft you. But because of the dollars, it's literally the sickest thing. It's staring the league right in the face. Quarterbacks that come in early tend to be ass. They suck. And their development probably sucks when, guess who messed it all up? Stafford. $30, $40 million early. Then they changed that stuff real quick. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Sam Bradford is the one that sticks in my mind the most. Then maybe, I don't know if Stafford still got his big fat money early, but I know he still got paid. But Sam Bradford definitely didn't deserve that money. I feel like Stafford was maybe one of the last guys that got a fat check early on. But these quarterbacks are overpaid. You got to start them at the rookie scale. Facts. Rookie scale. Like, you make $1 million. Just sit on your ass and do nothing. Just sit and learn the game and shut up. I don't want to see you on podcasts. I don't want to see you act like a rookie. These quarterbacks are entitled. I mean, if you walk in with $19 million guaranteed, you think that you're going to care? Oh, all right. I threw 4 interceptions. I'm out this week. I need you to be hungry. Like, if I would have had 5 million downloads the first week, there's no way we would have developed over 15 years. Be like, Doc got a 5 million hits the first week. That would have been a disaster. We would have stopped working. I would have never grinded to get to where we're at now. So I think that's me getting off my soapbox on quarterbacks. But Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, I think are going to put on a show. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I really do. 31-24, 31-27, back and forth. Player of the game, I think, is going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden's going to get 3 sacks. Alquidin's going to get 1. It's a sack party on Monday Night Football. The Lions are going to be just full on embraced by the team, by the fans, by everybody. I feel it. Man, you guys are mad about these Chiefs fines, huh? Man. Oh, don't get me. That also was real fast. What people knew me for too online at Detroit Podcast was when he got the $25 million extension a year, I think I was the only person screaming out loud, "This is a disaster. This is horrible." And all the fans attacked me, and they all went to, "He'll win a Super Bowl here in Detroit." I said, no, he won't. No, he won't. And then everybody did straw man arguments. If the Lions put a good team around him, he'll be a winner. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We can debate that, but I care about the Lions. He'll never win in Detroit. Yes, no, it's not his fault. I said he will never win. Move on before they paid him. And I screamed at the top of the lungs. And everybody was like, he can win a Super Bowl. He can win a Super Bowl. Listen, do you think I care he won a Super Bowl with the Rams? I do not care. Congratulations. Those that said he was good enough can get their jollies off. But I care about, did he win in Detroit? He made so much money in Detroit and gave you guys nothing. Not even a single playoff win. I was like, I felt like I was crazy. I was like, this guy's never going to win. And all he does is throw picks at bad times. What do you guys see in this guy? I actually, from how the media talked to me, how everyone debated me, I kind of felt like I was a hater. I was like, what am I not seeing here? He throws a lot of picks. He's never won a playoff game. Year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then everyone's like, well, if he had a better team, well, they're not going to give him a better team. Jackson Dart. Does he have a better team around him? Sometimes you just know it when you see it. And the problem was I saw it in Tom Brady. I saw it in Joe Montana. I saw it in other guys. Like Stafford never had it. He didn't have it. You can't quantify. He just didn't have it. I'm an it expert. That was something I could smell. He didn't have it. And all you guys screamed and yelled, yes, he does. He can go on another team and win. I'm like, he ain't winning a Super Bowl here. Question, does Jared Goff have it? He's got, we're working on the T. He's getting there. He's like, he's like, he's right there. But I can't until he does it. He just got to prove it. Yeah. Why are you calling him Stat Padford? So we're getting there. Jared Goff he's a really, really, really above average quarterback. But the comes in and can he do it in the playoffs in Detroit? Big game. Big game. Whoever wins this gets the number 1 seed, baby. Closer. That's why it's going to be the Lions. Sorry, Bucks raise bolts. Did you know? Overtime. 2 points, baby. Dylan Larkin. Boom. Might be wise for you guys to not let Dylan Larkin get breakaways. We own Florida. I don't know what happened to the Red Wings. Who put this team on the ice? They're 4-1. They're scoring points. They're giving what? What happened? The coach spoke up and said, I've seen this garbage before. After game 1, he said, I've seen this garbage before. Step up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just saying. Thugonomics, we're talking about NFC supremacy. Right now, the Lions have 4 wins. The Buccaneers have 5. And the number 1 seed gets home field advantage and a bye, like last year. And some would say it's an advantage. Clearly, the Lions blew it last year, let a young team come into their house and take over. Interesting. What do you guys think about what Corey said? Honestly, I think the Lions play better on the road. I think Jared Goff has a good game this game. I think Jared Goff picks apart the Buccaneers defense. Look, here's why. I think Bowles has to adjust. If you blitz Jared Goff at that rate and you don't get there, the Lions offensive line is getting Taylor Decker back. Penei Sewell, you may want to test Ratledge and Mahogany, but I see there's a delay in the Indiana game. Call the game off. Call the game off. I don't know if it's halftime or if it's a real delay. I'll check in with Emmett. Call the game off. It doesn't need, listen. Call the game off. If Bowles blitzes and doesn't get picked up, I'm talking about you're going to see a lot of yards after the catch from St. Brown, JMO. You're going to see it from Laporta. You might even see an opportunity to use that blitz where you let them come in. If you can get it right and time sync correctly, you know what happens when the pressure comes, dump it off. Screen game can go to the house. Will Todd Bowles, what do you think, Bucks raise bolts? You guys know. The story's now out about the fines. I love Christian. Great headline. Simple to the point. 2 Lions fined, no Chiefs. God, that's annoying. That's annoying at the highest level. There's lightning in Indiana. Emmett is okay. So I'm going to do a little tease, as we say. Shocker. 2 Lions fined, no Chiefs. What a disgrace. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm over emotional. That just pisses me off. Like, just drop him a $10,000 fine for blocking in the back. He blocked him in the back. Oh, it doesn't go by the rule definition of block in the back. Just do it. Like, come on. It's just annoying, man. That's just annoying. You always feel like, the kid that always used to get suspended in middle school, and then your reputation kind of follows you to high school, and you're a good person. And then someone's throwing spitballs, the teacher blames you. And no, that didn't happen to me, but I definitely saw it. That's what it always feels like. And what I'm doing now is I'm just sharing it all over the internet. Christian's great work. Give him and listen, whether you like me or not, when you see articles by Christian, Vito, there's more than just me at the network. There's Christian, Vito, Emmett. Support them. Like, I've been successful. I have a venture outside of sports to always fall back on. They're dependent on the job, and they're doing great things outside, but it supplements their income. And listen, the lights staying on is always great. So support them and never punish them for whatever you think I am about. And then for my 5 minutes, listen, I'm going to probably go longer. I'm enjoying talking and I'm having fun. Comments are great. You guys are amazing. Brent, the Ronin, Kevin, Bucks Rays. Appreciate you guys. The 600 people in here. This is awesome. Thank you. It means a lot. Kevin Kurtz. Get Tesla involved. I like it. So thank you guys for your continued support. Always check out their work. The Lions highlighted on SI. But, let me see just real fast here. They highlighted on SI, but the Tampa Bay writer. So now I know they're trolling me. It's funny. It was all hell. I saw that. I'm like, River? I know River. I had drinks with him. I almost sent it to him and said, River? I'm like, the Lions are using your stuff and they won't use mine. Yeah. I'm going to share it. My weekly, oh my God, look at Doc the Victim. So this latest Detroit Lions daily drive does not feature on SI, but I got to find it because when I saw it, I was like, oh my, I was like, they literally highlighted my colleague. The daily drive. The daily drive is the only thing that really bugs me every single day. The daily drive. I'm like, River Wells, that's my colleague. And I saw, I always see them. They highlight Sports Illustrated. They highlight The Athletic. They highlight, the others. Oh my God, look at this. I'm reading one now that features, oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4 different Sports Illustrated writers. 4. My colleagues that now that's funny. Literally everybody. 5, Mike Kadlick. I've never heard of him in my life. That's funny. That's really funny. We will know the practice squad elevations Monday. I think you get them like 3:30, 4 o'clock on a Monday. The new signees, Kendall Fuller. He's on the practice squad. You got Jamie Robinson. He's new to the roster. So he's going to play, in my opinion. So we'll find out who gets activated. I would think maybe Kendall Fuller, Lauren Strickland. Just a fan. Doc, you're too unique for the list. But it is kind of funny to see this. You just got to see it. And I'm sorry. This is just my 5 minutes. This is just really funny. And I give them a click as an honor to them. But that's just funny as all hell. Look at this. This was on the 13th. If you're me, what do you think of this? The Daily Drive. The Lions go to other sites and highlight other reporters. M Live's always great. The Athletic, tremendous. Look at this. Sports Illustrated, Blake Silverman. He's a local guy, good guy. I've never met him. Kristen Wong, never heard of her. Sports Illustrated. Andy Nesbitt, don't know him. Gilbert is a good guy. I do know of Gilbert, though. But look at that. Sports Illustrated, Sports Illustrated, Sports Illustrated. Associated Press, the News, Free Press. And then another one. They just had to circle back, put a bunch of newspapers, and then circle back to Sports Illustrated. Mike Cadlick. I was like, okay. I mean, but I do use that as motivation. It has helped me. But see, now I'm starting to see. I mean, it's good motivation. I like seeing that. It rubs me the wrong way. It's like Amon-Ra. But at some point, I work for the number 1 or number 2 sports media company in the world. Like, come on. That's it. I just got to do it. I'm going to walk into her office and be like, listen, I know you don't like me. I know you never heard of me, but let me introduce myself. They call me the Doc. I got a lot of readers and a lot of video views. I'm a digital person. I'm nice. I'm Middle Eastern. I'm 5'4", on a little bit on the overweight side, but I cover your team and you see my face every day. You hear my voice. I would like my articles featured on your website, please. Then she'd be like, who are you again? We like Vito better. Yeah, look, love is real. You're spot on. These are practice squad players, guys that are like trying out. It's not going to be that much impact, but you got to do what you got to do. That's the nature of this deadline. And don't worry, we're going to talk all about the deadline in a couple weeks. But we'll filter. Emmett's got the assignment. He's going to fill you in on some names. Well, thank you there, Dr. Thugonomics. Goff is not undefeated anymore against Mahomes. There's an asterisk, though. So he's still undefeated. Just a fan. Doc, being short like me, are they overlooking you? Do I really want to know why they would not do that? No, I don't want to know. I don't want an apology. Because I would be like, if they said, oh, we didn't know about you, then I'd be really furious because that's not right. I don't believe that. I wouldn't believe that. 2, if they said, oh, we had you, but you're not trained this, then I'd be mad. There's nothing they can do other than just doing it on their own. That doesn't make me just mad and furious. But in a good way. Like, come on, you guys know I'm having fun at the time of my life. In a good way, kind of like that, like how Amon-Ra is with the 14 guys. Like, come on now. He's gotten paid $30 million. Like, come on. Who cares about the 15, 16 guys ahead of him? He does. Because you just need that little extra to write that extra article. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I need a little extra, man, because the job's the same. Talk to the players, talk to this, talk to Dan. It all runs together. But it does. It truly does bug me. Like, it would mean more if they just did it without me acting a fool on the internet. And plus, if you really think deeper, why? Why would you do that? I've not done anything that egregious to not have that there automatically since 2021. Nothing. I've done nothing. I'm innocent. Mr. Macaroon, did you not say this on this? Yes. Mr. Macaroon, did you not back in 2014 call our owner beep, 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 beep on your, yeah. Mr. Macaroon, I'd be like, that's just all performative hyperbole. Mr. Macaroon, did you ask Dan Campbell if he could run the same offense? Mr. Macaroon, did you write that Jeff Bezos was going to buy the Lions? Mr. Macaroon, have you called out every media member in this town? Be like, listen, this kind of talk is really highly speculative and inappropriate. I just want you to put my name next to an article. Just once. You can just do it once. Listen, we don't have to go down that road. Listen, my actions speak for themselves. Mr. Macaroon, did you put this eggplant emoji on your X page? Maybe. I happen to be an eggplant emoji connoisseur. This would preclude you from being featured on a corporate website. Okay. You know what? Never mind. Never mind, missus. You're right. You know, I'm way too wild for this nonsense. Mr. Macaroon, did you write this? Really, it was Vito. Oh, my goodness. All right. Thank you for listening to the entertainment. That was fun. Jared Goff, James, I feel like this is going to be good for the Lions. I don't feel like the Buccaneers with their injuries. With the Buccaneers being a threat to the Lions after a loss. And the funny part was, I felt like maybe one tweet was a little rough, but the media for the last 3 years, now, since the end of last year, they lost to the Packers, and they asked on the radio, they asked in person, what is it about your team that you don't lose 2 games in a row? They already asked it in a myriad of ways. And then they lost to the Chiefs, and then he got asked that, and the players got asked that, and then Dan Campbell went on the radio and got asked that, and the very next day, another reporter asked, so Dan, you haven't lost back-to-back games in a couple years. What is it about that? And I was sitting there like, man, I am consuming far too much media because this question has been asked 30 times. I'll give you the answer. Guys, here's the answer to the media. Here's the answer, which he said in a myriad of ways 8 times. We have identified players that are gritty, that are competitive, that don't like to lose. So when they lose, they work extra hard to wipe away the crappy, shitty taste in their mouth because they hate losing. They are very competitive. They've been handpicked by the team to be this way. So that's why we don't lose 2 games in a row. The players are who we thought they were. Gritty, competitive, and very nice guys. Please stop asking that question because I'm annoyed by it. They do not lose back-to-back games because they pick good players. He said that verbatim 6 times in a row. Verbatim. Dan, you know, what's it about that mindset that you just, like, guys, we know they have good players. I mean, to the degree I get it, not everybody's paying attention to all of it, but that question's been asked a good 9-10 times. A good 10 times. Dan, what is it about the team and the mindset that you guys just don't ever lose back-to-back games? I almost started laughing when they asked it. Hell no, I probably asked a question that's been asked the day before too, but not that one. Good Lord. Think about the consumer. Think about the doc. I'm the consumer. Appreciate you said, I appreciate listening to Doc. Yeah, I know all the haters are Wolverines, the Walmarts, they hate me. That's good. You got to have some haters. Don't agree with Doc all the time, being that I love the Wolverines, but I'll watch someone raw and honest over fluffy sunshine and rainbow bullshit. Yeah, there's no bullshit in the Doc. It's just turn on the microphone, talk, let it go, let people react to it, and keep it moving. That was the thesis. That's how I'm going to operate. And like I said, the rule is I give you 60 minutes of content and 5 minutes about me. That's a good, fair ratio. Man, Carson Beck was ass, wasn't he? Holy cow, Miami. 4 picks? All right. I think my score prediction is going to be the same, 31-27. I do have to factor in, listen, you got to give a curve for the secondary. You have to. 31-30 Lions. The curve is they get an extra couple touchdowns. They're going to pick apart Rock Ya-Sin and whoever's in the secondary. They're going to try. They're going to test it out. Lions win. I am at a they're going to have some miscommunication, some breakdown, some issues, but the Lions offense is just too good. It's Monday night. And because of the fact that the Lions just don't ever lose back-to-back games, they win this game. We could be wrong, though. With each passing minute, I do feel a little bit worse. We'll see. But I'm going with the confidence. I'm going with the fact that the Lions don't lose, and they're better than the Buccaneers, and they want the bad taste of their mouth from last year. The Lions are pissed. They have to be pissed. I'm pissed from last week. I'm at 100. And look at that. Vegas loves the Lions. 6.5 to 7.5. It was 5.5 when Vito wrote it. Good Lord. Shout out to Phil. Phil wants 60 of me. Shout out to you. Always a nice person. Always see you shouting me out. I appreciate that. He's like, I need the Lebanese perspective. Thank you. Thank you guys for visiting Detroit Lions on SI. Now, I'm going to close with this. Just my general thoughts. Did you see Eugenio Suarez, 2 home runs yesterday? I'm telling you, the baseball gods hate Scott Harris. They hate him. You hear the teams are starting to put together their ideas for trying to trade Tariq Skubal. Scott Harris botched adding a bat, and he botched the idea. Was great to add reliever. You added Finnegan, good, but you needed to add 3 more good players. Everybody else was irrelevant. I'm wearing the old English D hat, and you had the nerve to insult potentially those that quote unquote struggled in the playoffs. Well, guess what? Eugenio Suarez helped his team to get to a 3-2 lead. How? That is the height of crazy. I might like that, but that's crazy to pass on a bat and then to watch that bat last night do that. It can only infuriate you if you like Detroit sports. Suarez, home run, grand slam in the 8th. That should only serve to infuriate you that the smartest guy in the room has egg on his face. And the baseball gods are like, see, that is pure baseball gods saying, don't talk like that. That's karma. How are you going to sit up there in front of the world, knock someone and say, well, some of the people that we were targeting that you guys wanted struggled. We wanted Suarez. And wasn't that Suarez hitting a grand slam in the playoffs in a division round in a ALCS that you're not part of? That can only serve to piss someone off. And then the whole Tariq Skubal situation, it's now getting frustrating on his side because his agent is doing his thing to get his guy paid. He's negotiating through the media. John Heyman all of a sudden comes up with a number, $250 million apart. All of a sudden, we now know what the offers are and what they're not. Come on, man. Not for a guy that stops after 6th inning, and then the next day we get to see Max Scherzer just cussing the living life out of his manager to come out of the game. Now, he was pitching less. He wasn't at 99, but I don't care. You pitch till your arm falls off. You want $400 million? Pitch till your arm falls off. That's what we got as Detroit Tigers fans. Joy. And then you go 15 innings, you can't get one clutch hit. Yeah, so that's it. Baseball gods laughed in Scott Harris's face, karma. And we might be on the track of needing to apologize to Steve Yzerman. But we won't, because you played the young guys now. Why didn't you do it earlier? It seems to be working. Why didn't you play the young guys 3 years ago? But, hey, credit, better late than never. You played the young guys, and you got a Spartan in Mason Appleton who can score goals. So far, so good. So, again, to recap, this was a wild week. Thank you for the 90 minutes today. You helped me out after a long week. Dramatic week. Brian Branch slapping someone. A suspension, an appeal of a suspension. He should have never appealed it. Waste of time. A video released, which I think could be a conspiracy to divert from the fact that the league is in the pocket of the Chiefs. Allegedly, supposedly. The league did something that was crazy that you never see with a hit piece on Brian Branch, pissed off everybody to divert away from the officials who suck, continue to suck, and have now added another call that is controversial against the Lions. You got two safeties out. That's going to be the biggest issue that you're going to face against the Bucs. The running back situation, I think, is the biggest offensive issue. Who gets what distribution of carries? I think you need more explosive plays offensively. That'll be a key. Taylor Decker coming back will be key. Ali McNeil, that should help out, but the secondary woes might be the biggest concern. You have any more questions before I get out of here? Phil says, gambling has destroyed sports. How concerned are you about Baker Mayfield? A fly on the wall gets in. If the Lions have their starting left tackle, then they should be able to run. And the Lions have their hands full with Evans coming back, great younger receivers who have not dropped off or done anything to be concerned about. Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're a good team. That's a good team. And they're crafty. They don't go away. Shout out to Bucks, Rays, Bolts. I still want the ball first. Take the ball first. I know it didn't work against the Chiefs. Take the ball. The Ronin knows what's up. Radio silence. ESPN, NFL now are in bed together. Tomorrow, look for it. I spoke to, it's an outside the box issue, but Chris Long of the Greenlight podcast really let loose on PFF, and he's not a fan. He doesn't want to see the PFF rankings on the crawls on Monday Night Football. So I asked Amik Robertson, Terry and Arnold, and Grant Stewart in the locker room what they felt about PFF. They were very candid, insightful, and it might be, if you're paying the $100 a year, might not be worth your time. It might not be worth what you're paying to see it, because the players, I'll give you a tease, they don't really respect it. Unless, they're getting a lot of high grades, as a joke, but you're going to want to read it tomorrow. I have their comments. Terry and Arnold, very candid in the locker room. Meek Robertson, very candid. Grant Stewart, very candid and honest. I caught them at the right time. So it'll be interesting what they thought about PFF. If you guys are PFF people, I pay it, but it's just because it's a write-off. And it does have the snap counts and some information that can be useful later. So, Eric, shout out to you, brother. Doc, how does Aleem look in person, physical-wise? Ready to go. Looks like the old Aleem. He's back, baby. I expect 20 to 25 snaps. Looks good. Best shape of his life. Hope you're having a great weekend, Eric. Shout out to him. Great Lions fan. Shout out Eric Taylor. Shout out Phil, the Ronin. Thanks, everybody, for paying attention. 90 minutes. Enjoy it. Go back, rewind it. You can fast forward. And it's easy, too, which is always interesting. This is on demand. So if there's a part about me complaining about the Lions, just hit that button. There's a button. So this is the part, too, that's weird. That's why people are like, you talk a lot about yourself. But here's the thing. I'm not offended, and I will never know. The rule is I get an hour of football content and 5 minutes for me. If in those 5 minutes you don't want to hear me complain about the Lions and the things that I go through, just hit that button. Fast forward it. I don't care. I'm not offended. I know how many minutes you guys are listening. Out of 90 minutes, you guys are listening to 64 of them. Thank you. I'm humbled. Out of every hour, you're listening to 44 minutes. That is the kindest. I don't care what 15-minute part you skip. I don't care. I'm doing this for joy, for fun, for a sense of relief, to talk to the peoples, to get a laugh in, to complain, to throw out conspiracy theories. Phil, $1.99, have a coffee on you. Thank you for the super chat. Phil's a nice man. So fast forward it. There's no need to complain because naturally, this is just like a little bit of my therapy. Just talking, going through stuff. So thank you. Fast forward it. Fast forward it. It's all good. Thank you. Thank you. Become a member, interact, comment, and it's okay if, I apologize if I do talk about myself too much, but, it's just letting out free-flowing thoughts that I do think about a lot. Like literally after this, I will go to the Lions site, read all these articles that are on there, and that's why I comment on it, because I go to the site. I go to all these sites. So if I see something and someone's like, hey man, it's something that I reported, nobody important. It's literally the way I perceive, my brain perceives it is it's like you're covering the Lions. You put out news specifically about the Lions. And then someone goes on their site, on their own personal site. And they're like, just going through the internet, nobody important reported about the Lions news today. And you're like, man, I'm working hard. Black uniforms. That's another reason why they're going to win. All black, baby. They're going to look fly, and they're going to play great. Trust in the doc, and I truly believe you'll be entertained, you'll be informed, and you'll have a direct pipeline to the Detroit Lions from somebody you can trust, respect, and sometimes laugh at. Unabridged. Yeah. Uncensored, uncouth, unfiltered, unabridged, unabashed, no filter, doesn't care, doesn't need to care. That's just the kind of way, doesn't care, but sort of cares. You know what I mean? Like a normal human. Nice. Attention, ladies. Ronan single. Hit him up. He's rich. He told me. Do you go to the park with a dog to get the ladies? I got to know. Do you go to the park chilling, or you go look around and see if there's any opportunities to have some coffee with some peoples? Have you ever met somebody at the park? The Ronan's rich. He told me he's rich, filthy rich. He's willing to give up half. He's willing to give up half. Shout out to you, dude. I really appreciate it. And if you're married, listen, he's still going to the park. He's still alive. Sorry, Mrs. Ronan. He's still a guy. He's still looking. Uncensored Doc Bridge is our path to the players. Absolutely. If you have anything you want me to ask Dan Campbell, the players, hit the comments. The show doesn't end when the talking stops. Interact, comment. You guys notice now, if you read the comments, 98.5%, I'm replying to them all. Ronan's married. 45 years. What's the secret? Hours at the park listening to football podcasts. Facts. Facts, F-A-C-T-S. That means the missus was like, the Ronan, can you take out the garbage? I know it's Saturday. It's your day off. You feeling like putting up the hangers today? I know I've asked you 2 weeks in a row now. Can you please put up the hangers? Ronan's like, I got to go to the park. I'll be right back. It's for my health. The doctor said the cholesterol. No doubt. Ronan, 100 minutes podcasting. I podcast also because I've been married for 18. What is it now? 2010? 15 years. Exactly. I hear you. I feel you. I connect with you, my friend. All right, but I have to go back because as I was broadcasting, she did say, "What's the plan, Doc?" And I said, "Work." And she said, my wife said, "What does that mean?" Let's see. Okay, until when? Till when? 6 o'clock. Continued health to you. In all honesty, God bless. I really do appreciate you listening, being entertained, having a laugh. Blessings to you and your family. Many more laughs, comments. Enjoy the park. Looks like you're in a spot with beautiful weather. Thank you humbly, kindly for listening in, not being put off by this nonsense, and letting me enjoy 100 minutes away from the home too. But I got to go back. She's still passionate. She still texts. The funny part is, and it's also too, she's never hopped on here. She ain't never figured out how to open up a YouTube account and come on there and be like, "Why don't you come home?" So that's the mission for the next year. The next 1,000 shows is, will the wife ever hop in this stream and be like, do you really need to talk for 100 minutes on YouTube after a 50-hour work week? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I do. I love you guys. Thank you, Coach Hart. Thank you, the Ronan, Phil, everybody. I do got to bust out of here. Brent DeWitt, I love reading your guys' comments. Thank you for the super chats. They're always open, the gifts, memberships. Any way you want to support, the likes. There's 600 people here. Bucs, PQ. Thank you guys humbly. You made my day better. You always do. 100 minutes. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let's come back probably, Monday night, it's going to be late. I'm not going to do it Monday, Tuesday morning or so. But let me know if you feel like you just got to fire it up. If it's a wild, controversial game, I'll get home around 1 a.m, maybe, and fire it up. But those just, thank you for visiting Lions on SI. Tomorrow we'll have coverage, Monday preview of the game. Then the game, we'll have studs and duds. We'll have recap of what you guys think of the game. And if it's a crazy, wild game, wild loss, something bad happens, controversial, we'll hop on late at night. I'm the Doc at Detroit Podcast. Please, for more coverage, visit si.com/NFL/Lions and give it a click. And lastly, humbly, it's not clickbait. It's stuff that I truly believe that you want to read because I want to read it. For those of you the 600 people here that are listening that truly care, I do sometimes get mad about those that call me clickbait artist or low-hanging fruit guy. That's fine. You're free to your opinion. But to the people watching that care, truly, if you don't like something, don't click it. But if you do, I promise you'll have some level of knowledge, entertainment, some information about the Detroit Lions directly from the DOC. Peace and love. Let's talk soon. Go Lions, 31-30. Baker Mayfield. Hopefully Al-Quadin Muhammad can go crazy and get a lot of sacks.